Tape marker. Safe zone. Action.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Holy crap. What an experience this movie was. Oh man, this is the Top Gun that we needed at this very moment of this current time. I could see why Paramount Pictures delayed this movie so much due to COVID and everything. I mean, this movie is just beyond excitement is real. The hype is real for this film, guys. And yeah, let's talk, right, Angela?
You ready?
You ready? Let's talk this movie, guys. Top Gun Maverick. Let's get right to it. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? I'm Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat lady, and
this is Alamo City Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. Thank you for making us a part of your day. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button down below, guys. Hit the little bell notification so that way you can watch our latest movie reviews. Let's get right to it. Angela, this is our review of Top Gun Maverick. More than 30 years, well, to be precise, 35 years since the original film did come out. Wow, and I know you got to see it yesterday. Literally,
I had never seen it before.
Yeah, I was all like,
and
you have to watch this.
And I wanted to make sure that I understand
the whole concept.
Yeah. The hype.
Yeah.
I know it's one of those classic films, Top Gun.
1986 film.
I'm sure he was big then, yeah. But it's a prominent film in Tom Cruise's career.
Definitely.
So I had to watch it, and I've got to say, I was not a fan of the first one. I'm sorry. Hate me all you want.
I mean,
I
wasn't either. I'm not gonna lie.
Problems with the script, but it's a classic.
Huge problems.
I could see why people like the film because it does have a lot of action for the time.
Yeah. The
scenes with the fighter jets were great.
See, whenever there was not action, like again, the script was just terrible. There were choices. It just for the first one, right? It just a lot of few minor details here. But I feel like with this movie, they really paid attention to all the small details when it comes down to like the script and all that, and they really changed it up. They learned their lesson. They did.
So having watched the first one yesterday for the first time, I didn't know what to expect from the sequel. I didn't know where they were going to go story-wise. I did get the sense they were bringing back a son from Goose. So we get that sense.
We get those elements,
from the trailer.
Yeah.
So having seen the first one, I'm like, okay, prepare myself. Makes sense. Now, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I really was very surprised how well the second one was. I really was. And my gosh, I thought those action scenes from the 80s were great.
No.
Holy cow, these blow it out of the water. It is so very great to see that, and to even like hear behind the scenes that these were actual fighter jets. There was no like CGI. It was great.
They learned how to fly. All the actors actually.
So I mean, I'm sure there's CGI, but the point is, most of it was real. Almost all of it was real, and you see that in it, and it's just so many great action scenes, so many great moments in this, not just action, but just other moments, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. I am so surprised. Really, I am. I'm shocked. And I what did you think? Yeah,
so we saw this actually in IMAX, ladies and gentlemen. The best experience out there to see it in a movie theater. And wow, was I mesmerized? Was this film really, the hype was real? The excitement of this film really carried it throughout this whole movie. And here's the thing. They learned a lot from the first one because the first one lacked story visionary. It really did. It was just stuck. It was just an okay story. Not to say against the characters or anything for that matter. It's just this movie really focuses on the nostalgia of the first one.
Yeah. So I gotta admit, the first one, as cool as the action sequences were, I felt it was more about a character. Yeah. It was more about Maverick. Yeah. And, we get some other characters, like we get Iceman in the first one. But I feel like that was, it's such an overused term, origin story of Maverick. Yeah. But this one actually had story. It had beginning, middle, end, character arcs like crazy. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And it wasn't just the main character who had development. It was a lot of the characters had development. And I really...
Even Miles Teller himself, I mean, we see him really go through this whole experience of being Goose's son and really focusing a lot on his character development, focusing on his arc of like, okay, I'm Goose's son. I have something to live up to, and that's the thing. And it's just like he has strong connection to Maverick, of course, and it just to Cap Pete, and that's the thing too, is that like it really focuses a lot on that, and also it carries the same attitudes 30 something years later. Mm-hmm. That Pete really carries, and Tom Cruise really carries that look. They mentioned it so many times. I don't like that look.
It's funny because, like you say, it's a really good story that is so different from the first one, but it brings that nostalgia. So people who are going to be fans from the first one, they do touch on that. They bring those small elements that make you like the film. Watching this sequel, and I gotta admit, for me, who actually didn't enjoy the first film as much, I didn't. I still enjoyed the nostalgic parts of it, like the famous song.
And they change it up a little bit here. I mean, they do play the famous song here. They do try to live up. Oh, we're not gonna mention any spoilers, by the way. So we're not mentioning any spoilers, but they do live up certain things. They really kind of copy it, but it makes sense to where they put it at. And I could see why, once again, I'm going to mention it again. I could see why Paramount really waited on to release this movie. This movie was filmed, I keep forgetting, this movie was filmed in 2019, 2020, around that time, because this film was supposed to release 2020, 2021. Then it got delayed so many times due to COVID, which I completely understand why they waited, because they wanted to see this movie in theater. And even Tom Cruise came on saying, hey, this theater experience here, it's full on momentum, it's full on experience here, and you need to watch this in theaters. And I don't blame him, because this movie needs to be watched in theaters, because it really gets you into that whole atmosphere, gets you to that momentum.
I mean, it's the experience of, like,
visual effects are so beautiful in this movie that it really goes true aspect. They win 100% on this the VFX.
Because I mean, you're basically being in these jets, and being so close.
It was nerve-wracking.
So it's like you getting to experience it in like an IMAX film, or even just in theaters in general. You have the full screen, you have the big surround sound side effects that just add so much more elements to the film. It's so cool, like you say, the special effects.
This is the very rare occasions, and we mentioned it a lot with The Godfather. The rare occasions where the sequel is almost... Well, I mean, this one's better already. But,
in my opinion,
but it's better. In my opinion, too, it's better than the first one. Again, the hype is real. The excitement is just killing me, because this movie is so good. We're going to go see it again for sure in theaters when it does open up, because we had a press screener here. So we are going to for sure see it in theaters coming out this very weekend. And I can't wait to see it again with audiences, to see their reactions. A lot of older folks are going to see this movie, because it did come out in the late 80s or the early...
mid-late 80s.
Mid-late 80s. And that's the thing, too, is just this movie really is going to carry that nostalgia. It relies a lot of the focused, strong story elements that the first one could have had, but did not exceed very well. Just during that time period, I guess you could say, and it just really didn't exceed well. But they focused it more on this film. They use those same elements and put it on this film, and really expand on that. And they really expand on the whole nostalgic of the first one. I loved it so much. This is the film that definitely we needed. This is the film that we need right now, this very moment of the time, especially the time we are in right now in America. We need this movie right here to get our hearts going, to get our hearts pumping again together as one.
Plus, it also promotes like an overall message, like a heartwarming, good, wholesome message.
Definitely does.
So, and I like that too. It's not just all about fighter jets and planes and action. It has meaning to it, and I really like that it has
teamwork.
These layers of like not just teamwork but family, friends, forgiveness, putting
the past behind you,
right? So I
30 something years of not even necessarily a grudge, just holding it in for 30 years,
right? So just I really enjoyed all that. Overall, well-rounded film. My opinion, so much better than the first. I'm sorry, hate me all you want. Just my opinion. I didn't like the first one too much, but this redeemed it for me.
Definitely. Pete Mitchell, is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. And so that's the whole synopsis there at IMDb. So I mean that's 100% the synopsis of this movie, and it really takes on. So they really don't mention, and it's not really a spoiler, but they don't mention the enemy per se. So like I kind of like that in a way, because it.
I liked it because.
At first I didn't, but I was like, you know what?
I liked it because, for one, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And two, it's still... I mean, it can be implied. It's up to the audience to interpret that.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think it matters.
It doesn't.
It's just a common enemy we're fighting.
That's it. That's all.
If we had a name, it wouldn't have made a difference.
That's the only problem I had with this movie. You know, was this a film that we deserved? Yes, definitely. This is a film that we deserved, guys. Ratings. Angela, what do you give this rating? 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest.
You know, thinking about overall, I might rate it a little bit high.
Okay. What is it?
But my, heart is telling me, a 9. Because I really enjoyed it. This is a movie I could really watch over and over again and not get tired of it. Whereas the first one, I'm sorry. But this one, I loved the action. I love the cast. I think, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller, of course, Tom Cruise, studded actors.
And the chemistry between them, too, was just felt natural. It felt so just good. It just felt great to see their chemistry together. It didn't feel forced whatsoever. It really, especially that was the main concern, was that when she introduced us to a new group of Top Gun class, that's a major concern. It's going to overlap with Tom Cruise, or it's going to screen time. It was good.
And it's really funny because they pose it as they're all Top Gun graduates. Mm-hmm. So they're the best of the best. And they're all like Maverick. They're young. They're arrogant. They're best of the best, and it's so funny to see them react against with each other.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great, and I really enjoyed it, and I think they did it on purpose. But overall, the cast was great. The story was great. Action was right on, beautifully done.
Yeah.
I give it a 9.
You know, this movie, and I can't.
You can fight me. I give it a 9.
My buddy Greg did mention as well that when this movie did come out, people joined the Navy because of it, and I feel like it's gonna get people to join it in that concept, in that whole element right there. I feel like it is.
I don't know if it's accurate. If that's what happens in the Navy.
No,
but it's
definitely.
I
can tell you right now, my buddy Greg. Yeah, it's not accurate 100%, but. It's a movie, guys. It's a movie.
It's Hollywood magic.
I'm definitely gonna give this a solid 9 as well because it just carried out the story. I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. I'll admit it. I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. I'm not. I watch his movies, but it doesn't necessarily mean I enjoy them. I don't love them. They're really good, entertaining films, though. They really are. Risky Business. Impossible. Risky Business will always be. The top, because that's really what made him famous, was Risky Business back in the 80s, and it was a really solid film that when it came out.
Mission Impossible.
But again, Mission Impossible is still going on. On their 9th film, I think, or the 8th film. 8th film, the trailer just came out, so it's just dude, Tom Cruise can do no wrong right now with all this stunts. He does his own stunts.
I gotta admit. The cast is aging beautifully. Jennifer Connelly, Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing, it's working.
Dude, Tom Cruise
look great.
He looks good the way. I mean, he was just showing off with his shirt off. That's all I'm saying. He was showing off. He was just
it's funny.
I'm 60 something and I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. So they're aging beautifully, and again, they still got it. Again, especially knowing he still does all of his stunts by himself. That's really great to know. So I enjoyed that.
Kudos to you, man. All right. We do recommend this movie, guys, on the Alamo City Movie Talk. Be sure to check out this movie in theaters near you. Be sure to check it out on IMAX if you can, if it's available, guys. And we do recommend this movie once again. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. And we are definitely going to add this movie to the movie collection, Steelbook-wise. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call me Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Eddie Ange.
And stay safe, San Antonio. Catch you later, guys. Peace.
Wake up, wake up.